My parents pushed me out, then gave the house I grew up in to my brother for his wedding. They had no idea the land around the house belonged to me, and this time, I was the one doing the pushing. I moved out at 18. Well, more accurately, I was pushed out. My parents told me it was time to man up and learn how the world works. No graduation party, no goodbye dinner, just a quiet closing of the door behind me. My brother Ryan, 3 years younger, got a very different deal. New clothes, a car for his birthday, tutoring, sports camps. If I got a B+, they asked what went wrong. Ryan brought home a C, and they laughed it off, saying, not everyone's a numbers guy. I didn't argue. I packed my life into a beat-up sedan and left. Worked long hours, took night classes, skipped meals to save money, and by 26, I had my own real estate company. None of this was shared with my family, not out of spite. They just never asked. Then my grandmother called. Ryan was getting married. Big venue, 5-course meal, the works. I asked when the wedding was. She paused a beat too long. Invitations went out last week. I never got one. Grandma told my parents if I wasn't invited, she wasn't coming. 3 days later, a generic last-minute card showed up in the mail. No note, no call, just a box checked. But that wasn't the part that broke me. A cousin accidentally let it slip on speakerphone. My parents were giving Ryan the house as a wedding gift. The same house they kicked me out of at 18. The same one I got yelled at for entering months later when I went back for a childhood photo album, gift-wrapped and handed to the golden child. I went to the wedding anyway. My mother pulled me aside within minutes. Try not to embarrass us today, she whispered. I just smiled. She had no idea what I'd brought with me. During the reception, my father toasted Ryan as the son who made me proud every step of the way, as if he only raised one kid. Then Ryan announced the house gift from the stage. Applause, tears, admiration. I didn't clap. I walked outside. My mother followed. I told her giving away the house she kicked me out of felt cruel. She said we didn't kick you out, you were a man. I said I was 18. She said exactly. I asked why Ryan didn't have to stand on his own. She tilted her head and said because he gave us something to be proud of. There it was. The knife twisted without flinching. Here's what none of them knew. In the 6 months before that wedding, I'd quietly bought the land behind the house through a shell company. And my grandmother, the only person who ever truly saw me, had left me a safety deposit box with a deed to a narrow parcel running the entire length of the other side of their property. I now owned the land surrounding the house on both sides. I filed permits for 12-foot privacy fencing that blocked their natural light. Then I broke ground on a modernist commercial venue, coffee bar, wine lounge, event space, right behind their backyard. Construction ran 6 days a week, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., every minute within legal limits. Melissa posted passive-aggressive stories about respect for aesthetics. I adjusted a fence panel so it reflected morning sunlight directly into their bedroom window. Ryan called me furious. You can't do this. I said it's all public record. He said this is our home. I said correction. It's my old home. You're just the latest tenant. They tried to sell. Buyers wouldn't bite. Too noisy. Too close to commercial property. They dropped the price 3 times. Then I made an offer. Below asking. All cash. Through another shell company. 6 weeks later, the house was mine again. They didn't know until the deed was filed. I didn't move in. I turned it into a community center for kids aging out of foster care. Free financial classes, resume workshops, transitional housing. I called it the Turner House. The day the banner went up, my mother parked across the street and just sat there staring. A week later, I got a handwritten letter. No greeting, just one line. I didn't realize what I'd lost until I saw your name on the deed. I folded it, locked it in the same folder that once held Grandma's key, and closed the drawer. This chapter is finished. They spent years trying to erase me. I built something permanent, and this time they couldn't.